Alright, what's up? How's it going here? I'm here with Cafe Terrace at Night by Vincent van Gogh. This is from 1888, and we're gonna hop right into this. Uh, what an interesting note that I'd like to take notice of in further analysis. Oh no, analysis is there's no signature on this painting, which I mean, I was in the future we'll try and look at signatures a bit more, but for now we can at least note that there is not a signature on this one. And this painting itself is I'll go over some background first. This painting itself is the first in a in what is, I guess, informally known as the Starry Night trilogy of paintings that began with this one and ended with the Starry Night, which I've already reacted to, and obviously I'll react to the sky later in this video, but for now I just thought I should get that out of the way. But getting into the painting itself, what we have here is a really nice use of artist's interpretation of what he's seeing around him. Van Gogh actually did paint this at night, and once again he takes some liberties here. Even though the sky is black, he painted it blue once again, and we're having a little bit of trouble here. But what you can really see is, wow! Look at these details, these brush strokes. This man is a genius. He's clearly a master of the craft, as we can see. Look at even the slightest little brushstrokes. Obviously, we're zoomed in a bit far, so we see a little bit of not sure what that is, but now if we go in on the individual stars, which I guess we kind of just were on, we see. Okay, these ones look a bit more like. Well, I can move this recording box. These ones look a bit more like fried eggs than the ones in the last one, which in the Starry Night, which I'd say were more developed stars and much bigger, whereas this one is just a little ball of yellow and little tinges of green there, but that might be because we're looking at it too hard, and surrounded by a big white, so definitely evoking the feeling of a fried egg. And if I'll zoom out and I'll recenter this. Uh, we look at this cat. Obviously, this sky is beautiful. We have a lot of bright stars. We have some not as bright stars, and then there are just some white stars, and all of it is. Sorry, so there was some dust build up on my screen. All of it is on a very uniquely painted background, and Van Gogh, I guess it was sort of his thing to paint things that were actually black as being blue, which is interesting. And looking down at the terrace, we see there are quite a few people sitting there. Not many of them seem to be acknowledging him, but if you sort of, it's obviously insanely lit. This lamp probably couldn't conjure up that much light, so we see Van Gogh taking some more liberties here with his portrayal of light on this building, on this cafe terrace, because we see up here it's pretty blue, but then the light bleeds out and completely fills up everything around here. And we even have a little bit of oh no, we even have a little bit of green on these walls here. That's the intensity with which this light is blending with the otherwise blue walls, and not a ton of detail is put into these little figures sitting around at the tables here. It looks like a few of them might be sort of looking at him, like this one right here. But alright, we keep on moving around, and you sort of notice this horse and this rider, they sort of take up the center focus. Like our eyes are sort of drawn there by these lines. Like you see this line here and this line, this line made here, and then sort of just the whole way that the painting closes in. Sort of, I mean, you could argue that it's more like here, but I'd say it's sort of to that back horse and buggy. And if we look at some of the small details, you see there are quite a few people walking around the streets, and Van Gogh actually did paint this at night. That's the way he painted. He wouldn't just draw it at night and then pretend like it was at night and come back during the day. Rather, he actually sat out there at night, and maybe that's what inspired him to uh, paint the buildings like this, because it was too dark for him to actually see them, so he just probably assumed that they were blue. And if we looked at this building over here, not as much detail is put into it as in this one, because we see these nice little fancy lantern hangers, or not sure what would hang up there. Maybe that's what's holding up these gas lights, or these lights, but that's actually probably a chandelier, so who knows. And if some interesting details here, we see this table with some chairs sat at it, but both chairs are sat facing away from the cafe to look out on the street, and these are the most detailed, I'd say, chairs in the entire painting. So it's sort of interesting. Maybe he's sitting at a table like that, and that's why he chose to portray them in the foreground like that. And an interesting thing to note is the tonality and the contrast between the blue sky, the blue walls, and the bright, like, vivid yellow emanating from the lantern, this light source. And you sort of get that on a lesser degree over on this side of it. And we see these people milling around. I'm not entirely sure if we knew what they're doing, and I'm not sure if Van Gogh knew what they were doing either. But if we go back down to this horse and buggy right here, that's sort of a mysterious element to this painting. Who is this rider dressed in black? You know, it's pretty neat how paintings can hold mysteries like that. And if we move down here a little bit to look at to appreciate the detail of these cobblestones, like, my gosh, look at that. There's blues in there, there's whites in there, there's like sort of brownish reds in there, there's yellow and orange, and oh my, there's green even. It's clearly the work of a master, as all these details. Like here, how does he make these stones come alive like that? And it's not even that he does it just by drawing them perfect, like as perfect representations. These don't just look like real stones, but they convey the feeling of real stones, which I think is where the real masterwork shines through now. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Farewell.